Hey guys, it's J-Man Powerhouse. Welcome to a special episode, our first special episode of the Life of Seals podcast. Joining me today is the usuals,
Coffee mug here.
Steven Jackson.
and today we have a special guest.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Tony Noto, or aka Tony Bandana on Twitch. What's up, y'all?
So we want to thank you for being able to spend this about an hour with us. We really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm happy to do it. I know Steven Jackson has been waiting patiently for this moment.
Yeah, I think all three of us have. Me and real quick backstory. I met Coffee. Actually, I think it might have been on Dave's stream. I met Coffee, and then me and Steven talked about this a couple months ago and decided to do it. And like we said numerous times, it's a big week for us with you and with Haley. But it's really amazing on how quickly we've gotten to get to where we are.
That's super exciting. I mean, it's. I think Haley's going to be more exciting than I am, but I'm flattered and I'm happy to be here.
we we'll see. We got some things we're gonna cover with Haley. Um, so we do have we have some questions we definitely want to get to. I guess the first question, it's kind of a two-parter here, is obviously I want to know this, and I'm sure a lot of people want to know this. How did you and Day meet? And then I have a second part to that question, which wasn't really related to that, but it's another question.
You have a follow up question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So about 5 years ago, um, I got cast in a show that was a web series for YouTube called Classic Alice, and it was a show about a girl named Alice who lives her life according to classic literature. I was cast as her love interest slash film student that was recording the whole thing and, in quotations, putting it up on YouTube. And that genre was kind of popular at the time on YouTube. It was a literary adaptation sort of genre that was happening. Day did a show called Emma Approved, which was a literary adaptation of Emma, and it was incredibly popular on YouTube. In fact, it won. I believe the correct title was Transmedia Storytelling. They won an Emmy for transmedia storytelling. So she got to go to the Emmys that year, which was pretty amazing. But because we both did similar shows, we met at a YouTube convention called VidCon in Anaheim, California, and then we also met. It was close to the same time as Comic-Con that year down in San Diego, and we traveled to Comic-Con together, and that's kind of how we initially met and became friends. And so
Uh,
we've been on the outskirts of each other's lives for the past 4 or 5 years, and I ended up asking her if she wanted to work with me at a studio in Burbank called Swordplay LA, where I was teaching fencing at the time and doing sword stage combat, and we were always just kind of around each other. And then last year I was like, wait, why haven't I asked this girl out yet? And I did, and here we are.
and then the long tell story is that Hannah Tell just ruins everything, and
And then
just
Hanatel just destroyed the delicate house that I had been building this whole time.
so my follow up question. I mean, it's not really. I guess it sort of has to do with it. You talked about uh, What was it? Swordplay LA, or that?
Yeah. Yeah. So as an actor in LA, you work weird, odd jobs, and this was one of them that I really fell in love with and I really enjoyed for a long time. I had never done fencing before, but I answered a casting breakdown for people who looked like Jedi Knights, and at the time I had much longer hair, so I kind of looked like Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn
Uh,
esque. And it was a great idea. What they were doing is they were teaching not toddlers. They were teaching like 8 years 8-year-olds and younger to learn fencing, but in the Star Wars universe. And the fencing instructor was a Jedi master, and instead of a foil, you had a lightsaber. It was a really cool little program, and that for me turned into actually learning fencing from the owner of the studio, and then becoming a fencing instructor, and then becoming a sword stage combat instructor, and ended up asking Day if she wanted a job there, and then Day started to learn stage combat, and the day we had our first date, actually, it was the week of our first date. We took a stage combat class together, and we fought with broadswords. And it was a video that I have somewhere on my computer.
So this is I guess I don't know if this came with meeting day or this is always something, but like, what got you into the mindset of like becoming a streamer? Like, what made you start streaming?
I growing up, I mean, video games have been a huge part of my life. Okay, I just saw my Discord may have glitched out there for a second.
You're fine.
Video games have always been a huge part of my life. I mean, as a kid, my mother would play the original NES Zelda with me, and she'd be on the treadmill, and I would play. We'd like switch back and forth, and I would watch her play, and then I would play. And I've always been a huge gamer. And when Twitch started happening, I didn't have the capabilities. I didn't have the equipment, the internet to do it. But when I did, this was in 2000. I think the first time I streamed was 2016, sometime in the fall, and I would just stream The Witcher 3 late at night by myself. Not as Tony Bandana, not as I think I even had a name before that, Mutant Raptor. I was just testing out the platform and trying it on and see what it was like, and seeing if I was even capable of doing so. I'd literally lay in my bed, and I'd have the webcam on my face, and it was me against my bed headboard, just playing The Witcher 3. That's how I got started. But yeah, I've always been a huge gamer, and Twitch just seemed like a fun way to be able to perform and entertain people, and also do something that I love to do.
Now, Tony, you said that you were a big gamer.
Yeah.
What are some games that you would love to stream, but you haven't quite had the chance to do that yet?
Oh, that's a good question. Currently I'm actually trying to find a balance between, like, if I'm super into a game, I actually become a bad streamer because I don't care about the sort of production of the stream. I care more about just playing the game. Something that would be amazing to do like that would be Breath of the Wild, which
Okay.
I've already beaten, and I am playing it again on Master Mode, and I keep telling myself I'm going to stream it, but I just don't. Because I don't think I get too invested. I just love that game so much. The other types of games that I would like to do, Total War. I don't know if you guys have ever played any of those Total War games.
I haven't.
But those, I will wake up in the middle of the night, or I used to. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and play Total War Shogun 2 or Rome 2. I'd play that for like 4 hours from like 1 to 5 a.m. and then go back to sleep. But yeah, I don't know if that answers the question you were asking, though. Does it?
Well,
Yeah.
That was 2. I was hoping for 5, but I mean that's good.
Yeah, that's fine. We knew that when we put 5 in, it was gonna kind of be the stretch. So we were seeing how many you could give us.
Yeah, I think I came to the decision a couple months ago that I am not. People don't watch my stream for the kick-ass esport pro league Rainbow Six Siege gameplay that I aspired to do earlier this year. I'm I tried to get good at that game and I just couldn't. So I'm trying to find you guys have, those of you who watch the stream know that now I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and I was playing Assassin's Creed before that, and I'm kind of trying to dip my toes into that arena a little bit more.
Okay. I think Coffee has a question for you.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what's the craziest thing you can remember doing in a video game that actually yielded results, that actually won you the game or something?
The craziest thing I've done in a video game that yielded results. Can you, like, what do you mean? Can you elaborate on that?
Like, I don't know, like some kind of a Russian, like you're playing Rainbow and you rush the enemies and you somehow take them off guard and down everybody or kill everybody.
I know that there's got to be there's got to be a moment. I'm trying to think of specifically in game, like something that like I didn't think would pay off and totally paid off.
Saving Kate's life.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I've got strong feelings on that subject, but I haven't. Like I said, I have not played. Is because I am in fact learning about the community that is watching my stream, and it has been evolving recently. I would say I'm trying to find one word that will boil down this following sentence, which is we're fun-loving, kind-hearted trolls, if that makes sense. So we like to give each other a hard time, but nothing is venomous, nothing is truly mean. I think the way I joke with my friends in real life is something I would like to bring to Twitch, which is we like to give each other a hard time to have fun, and we like to laugh at ourselves. I do a lot of stupid stuff on stream if you've watched me stream, and I want to kind of foster a fun-loving but like smart viewer base. That wasn't one word, and I know that's what you wanted, but I gave you I'm an overachiever, so instead of one word, I gave you a 273.
It's a 273-page essay in one word.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? How about this? Edit, cut that, just cut it, and say this.
Nah, I'm gonna keep it.
My viewership is so intricate and complicated that I wouldn't dare boil them down to one word.
There you go.
Bam.
That's amazing. Steven?
I would have said trolls, but that works.
Yeah, you know.
So, out of all the games you've played, what are your 5 favorite ones that you've already streamed?
We like the number 5.
Yeah, number 5. All right, let's have a countdown, shall we? Number 5. Let's go backwards. Let's start with the least favorite to the best. Okay. So, number 5, 5th favorite game I've ever streamed. It would have to be Mario Kart. I did one stream Mario Kart. So that's number 5. Mario Kart 8. Number 4 on the countdown. Let's say Rainbow Six Siege, because I really wanted to get into that for a while and I sucked at it, and then I would just shut down on stream and get so angry at myself because I was blowing it. Number 3, I think I'm gonna have to say Assassin's Creed Origins, because that was a fun game and I had a lot of cool people drop in while I was playing that game who just wanted to be there and talk about the game, which is leading into my number 2. When I streamed Diablo 3, I get a lot of people who come in and they'll help out and I'll play with viewers, which is a lot of fun. And I'm a big Diablo 3 fan. And then I'm going to leave the big gold shiny medal for the game that I am streaming right now, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, I still got to finish my Origins yet.
How far did you get?
The first mission, and then there were 3 other games that came out, so I just haven't had a chance to get back to it.
Yeah, I have strong feelings about the Assassin's Creed franchise, which is why I played the first. I played 1, 2, and 3, and the third one was Revolutionary War. And the company Ubisoft, I'm assuming, just had structured a story arc that was so large and so intricate and so entangled with real historical facts and pseudo historical facts that they just had to kill off, spoiler alert, their main present day character. And I got so angry at the franchise that I didn't play Black Flag and I didn't play Origins when it came out. And then Odyssey came out, and I was like, all right, well, I want to play Odyssey, but I'm going to go back and play Origins first. And I've never played Odyssey. And that came out, 2 months ago?
Yes. No. Just
Something like
month,
that?
actually.
Last month?
October 19th.
So I'm getting around to it because I love those games, and I'm kind of a history nerd. When Assassin's Creed came out and it was kind of doing this thing where it was like pseudo history and it was interweaving real history with like what was going on with the Assassins and the Templars, I was like, this is the best. I love this. And then they just fell flat on their face.
See, I'm not a big history person, but I'll play Assassin's Creed for that reason.
You know what? It's kind of like the
Coffee?
gamer's history class.
I know. Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah.
Coffee?
Oh yeah, I just wanted before I ask my question, I wanted to say that because you mentioned Assassin's Creed Origins, I actually have one of the pins you get for pre-ordering it of Bayek.
Oh, sick. You have to I guess after we're done here, you have to put a photo of it in the Discord so I can take a look at it, because that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, and now that I said what I wanted to say, now time to ask the question. What is the hardest game you've ever played?
Oh, I have a couple of answers actually. So honestly, the hardest game I've ever played, Dark Souls 2. Most rage-inducing game I've ever played, Rainbow Six Siege. Dark Souls 2, I couldn't even finish. And I would play the game with my laptop out with a step-by-step guide on how to beat that damn game. And I still could not do it. I ended up giving up on that game I probably gave up around 75%. I invested weeks of my life and then came up short. And then Rainbow Six Siege, I mean, if you ever want to just really ground and humble yourself in the video game world, give yourself a couple of rounds of Rainbow Six Siege, and that shit will set you right.
I actually saw you in Rainbow Six Siege a couple times.
Yeah. What'd you and don't sugarcoat it. What'd you think, Steven Jackson? How often would I die? Let's tell the people that.
A lot.
Like once every minute, if that.
Yeah. I was often the first person dying on my team, and I just stopped having
Better
fun.
Be the first and the last.
I mean, yeah, I guess, and the fact that emotionally, you don't want to be the last one left alive. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, you don't want to be the last one to die.
Yo, yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of my stream for Rainbow Six Siege, when you die in that game, you can view other people playing, and that's a lot of my stream was just clicking through the cameras to see my teammates play.
Okay, so so this is kind of a hard one, but if you could tell us a video game Like, what's your favorite like video game series or franchise that's come out with like more than one game? Like Star Wars, like stuff like that.
The game I'm gonna go back to the game that got me into gaming when I was a kid and that I still play today. The Zelda franchise is probably my all-time favorite franchise. I think like I've got my own Master Sword that I painted the handle to be the most accurate to Ocarina of Time, and it's on like a Triforce plaque. I'm a pretty big Zelda fan. One of the best costumes ever made for Halloween was a Link costume that I was so proud of. That's gotta be my all-time favorite franchise.
See, that's cool because I didn't know about Zelda at all until my brother had got. My sister-in-law brought over a black case of original Nintendo games we didn't know. And I was looking through and I played Star Tropics and I noticed that the Zeldas were the gold cases.
Oh,
the
yeah.
cartridge. And I'm like, well, what is this? And I looked on there and I saw the lion, I saw the shield, I saw the dagger. And I'm like, hey, this looks pretty cool. I'm gonna try this out. And they're like, hey, take the sword. And I'm like, sweet, I get to stab stuff. So
Yeah.
from there, it pretty much took off. And then Ocarina of Time, my jaw just hit the floor like, oh my God, they made it 3D.
Yeah, Ocarina of Time was a pivotal moment in my life.
The only thing I don't like about Breath of the Wild is they got rid of the hearts to replenish your life, and they replaced it with food. So I mean, I'm a little hungry.
Yeah, my biggest complaint, and where Breath of the Wild, amazing game, but it fell short with the story, and the ending was very, very lackluster. That being said, though, I do want to give honorable mentions to the Elder Scrolls series, which I've played countless times of Skyrim, Morrowind, and Oblivion. Those games changed what I thought about gaming, like what was even possible. And then I want to give a little honorable mention to the BioShock series because I think the best video game story I've ever personally experienced was BioShock Infinite, which was their third one. If you guys haven't played that, I mean, it's on Steam for like, I think it's like $6 or $7 now, but it's a fantastic. Yeah. It's a fantastic story.
Now,
I played BioShock.
I have yet to play, honestly.
Yeah.
Didn't Breath of the Wild come out this year, or was it last year?
Last year. Breath of the Wild came out last year.
So what are the two favorite games that you have from this year?
From this year, I gotta say Red Dead Redemption 2, even though I'm like 7 hours in, I already know it's going to suck up a whole bunch of my time. And I think my next choice is going to be a game that hasn't released yet because I'm so excited about it, which would be Fallout 76. I think those are going to be my top two.
Okay, well that answers.
You just answered the second part of his question.
I was going to say, is there any games that you're most forward looking to releasing?
Yeah, Fallout 76 definitely. We went to TwitchCon 2 weeks ago, and Day got asked to do a demonstration of Fallout 76 at the Bethesda booth, and so I got to watch that. And I love. I mean, Elder Scrolls. Everything that Bethesda does, I think, is great. Elder Scrolls and Fallout, those series are super amazing. Fallout 4 I was a huge fan of, and so Fallout 76 is something that I think is experimental for them. People have been asking for that company to do a multiplayer game like that for years now, and they're finally doing it. And I know that it's going to come with its issues, but I'm very excited for it.
See, I've got three myself. I've got the Resident Evil 2 remaster, The Last of Us 2, and Smash Brothers Ultimate are my three that I'm.
Let's talk about Smash Brothers Ultimate for a second. Here's my problem. Nintendo, if you're listening, call me. Nintendo's doing this thing where I feel like they got nothing else in the chamber for a year. So they've been hyping up Super Smash for like a year and a half now. And I don't want to hear another damn update. Just give us the game. It's almost like they're purposefully delaying it in order to. I understand a Christmas release. I understand that. But it's like they got nothing else in the chamber and they got to stall. So like they got into a boardroom together and like, all right, boys, what do we got? And ladies can be in boardrooms too. I don't want to come off dismissing the other half of the human race, but they all got in a boardroom together and they were like, all right, here's the plan of the year. Stall, and that's all they've been doing. If I hear one more update, one more character release, one more, this guy's gonna be, or look what I can do, I'm gonna blow my brains out. Just give us the game.
Tony's running out of time with the tangent limit.
Yeah, that's, and I can keep going, but I'm choosing not to.
Coffee.
What is your favorite?
I'll take some coffee. Wait, what?
Oh. Sorry, we don't have any coffee. We're fresh Shadow Ground.
What? All right, I need you to run to Starbucks, and I need a venti iced coffee, 1 pump of sugar-free vanilla. Thank you.
Sorry, the Starbucks blew up.
Oh, Jesus.
You're gonna have to answer the questions without Starbucks.
That's a national tragedy right there.
So now to the question: what is your favorite video game character from any game you've ever played?
Ooh, good question.
I told you we had some good ones.
You guys do. I mean, I feel my pausing and my silence is real.
We thought you would say Zelda
or Link.
Okay, so. Yes, but when you ask me that question, how I interpret it is like I think the best character in a storytelling aspect. Link obviously was made, and I think it's brilliant what they do with Link is he's a silent protagonist, and you feel like you are Link, which is to their credit an amazing aspect of that game. Of that series, and I think it's one of the reasons why it's so impactful on so many different levels. Shit. My all-time favorite. I think I would have to say
John Cena.
John Cena, the safe word of today's podcast. Oh gosh, boys. Why am I hesitating so much on this one?
We thought we were bad. You're the one with all the dead air. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no joke. Let's just go with Link. Let's go with Link because that's what we said earlier. I mean, can we give some honorable mentions? Like shout outs to Gerald of Rivera in the Witcher series. That's just, I mean, that story and those characters I think are just fantastic. And I'm super, super stoked for the Netflix series.
Sorry.
And then I mean, I guess I'd have to say Super Mario, Yoshi, Link, all. Which is funny. I don't know if you guys expected this because I don't even stream Nintendo games, but like honestly, they had such an impact on me as a kid that it's hard for me to stray away from those answers. Yeah.
So we have one more question. This actually comes, one more question. We actually, when we type these out, we put streaming questions and then it's a block and it says random questions. So the random questions we're kind of just going to roll through.
Perfect. Yeah.
But the final streaming question actually comes from a really good friend of mine. We've gotten to know him pretty well. He's in this Discord. His name's Shadow. and he's apparently our only fan. No, I'm kidding. But he's the only person who had time to give us a
Hey,
question.
you gotta start somewhere. I mean,
uh,
the fact that you're
so
even doing
his
this podcast is amazing. So, sorry,
so
continue.
thank you. So his question was, what was the first video game you played? I think you already told us the answer to that from
It
Shadow.
wasn't. It was indeed, but I will say, the first. I remember you guys. You guys, I'm sure you've seen those those videos that parents have of their children on Christmas Day opening up like a Game Boy
Uh-huh.
and
That was
screaming
me.
and crying. Yeah, that was me too. So I can really specifically remember the Christmas that I got Pokemon Red, and just I got that as my first gift. I had other gifts under the tree. I did not own those gifts. I took my Game Boy and I went into my room
Yep.
and I did not talk to my family for the rest of Christmas Day. I laid on my bed and played Pokemon, and it was like my eyes had opened to a new world that I had never seen before. And suddenly in my real life, and we're talking, I was probably 11, 12, and
Okay.
I started to see like Pokemon everywhere. Like everyone started to love Pokemon. I was like, well, why is everyone loving Pokemon? This was my thing. Why is everyone loving it now? I was like, I'm the one who loves Pokemon, and I got real jealous. I don't know what that says about my psychology, but I remember very specifically Pokemon Red being like a game changer for me.
Okay, so those were a big question. So now it's kind of, they don't get easier, but we might be able to. Those were like our streaming questions, the main ones we wanted to ask. But we have a couple more. I think we only have like 8 more, so we should be able to get through them here real quick.
I just want to know one thing. Do you still play Pokemon today?
I don't, and I'll tell you why. Once they started making past 151 Pokemon, I was like, nah, I'm good. I like the original Pokemon. Then they started like coming up with all these crazy types and crazy names, and I was like, I got it. I'm good.
Okay.
That's not the
so
answer you wanted, was it, Steven Jackson?
Well, I was hoping you would have done like Pokemon Go or something.
I have something terrible to admit. The year, what was that Pokemon Go came out on the cell phones? That must have been like 2 years ago,
2, 3, yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
2 or 3. I was driving. I was an Uber driver, and I was kind of like in my off time to get some more income. And what I would do is I would pick up fares, and then when they were done, I'd turn Pokemon Go on, and I would just drive around and catch Pokemon until I got another fare. And that's like how I spent that summer. And then as soon as and that's awful. Kids, do not text and drive. It's awful. Don't do it.
It's also illegal.
It's also terribly illegal and terrible for your health. Don't do it. I am not a role model to follow.
I mean, suicide is also terrible too, but there's video game characters based on that. So
very true.
Sorry.
Very true.
Sorry,
but
I
I
had
don't.
to.
I don't compare myself to those characters, and you shouldn't do what I do. But as soon as they turned off that whole like function, where it's like if the GPS could pick up your speed and you were going too fast, you couldn't.
That's
and
a
I was
little
like, all right,
creepy.
well, we're done here, and so I stopped playing that.
Okay, so Steven,
So
What?
with your streaming, you seem to be, like so many people's hero. They tune in to watch you. Do you personally have a favorite superhero?
I do, and it would be a close. You know what? I'm just gonna say it's Deadpool. I think Deadpool is my favorite, and I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Wolverine. They are my
Okay.
2 favorite superheroes.
I love Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine has always, as a kid, I've been infatuated with Wolverine. And then I think Deadpool was always on my peripheral, but the way that the movies just nailed it home, and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, I just think that.
So
It's
So
just
with
it's too great. It's too good.
so with that, we're gonna skip around a little bit here, but I'm running a little low on time, so we're gonna bounce around.
Sure.
But Steven also wanted to know, Steven, what else did you want to know? Since I think you basically just told us.
I want to know if it's Marvel or DC.
Oh,
When
you want to know which universe I like better?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer you from a cinematic standpoint, and then I'm going to say Marvel because I never got big into the comics. So my experience with the two universes comes through the movies, and I have to go with Marvel.
Okay. Well, it's interesting you say that because based on the movies, were you Team Iron Man or Captain America?
Iron Man, easy. Tony's stick together. Next question.
Okay. And were you Team Batman or Superman?
I was team fuck that movie. That's what I was. I have never seen
PG-13 podcast.
Yeah, sorry, y'all. That movie should be shown in film schools around the country on how you
not to make a
mess up
movie.
story. Yeah, how you really don't make a movie.
The big no.
Yeah, I honestly, I won't pick one side or the other. That movie was. I'm Team Wonder Woman. I'll give you that.
I was going to say Wonder Woman was my favorite.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman was the best.
Same.
Okay, so we're gonna roll through these a little quickly. Coffee, what do you want to know? What? Who is his favorite? What?
Do you have any idols? Like anyone you think like, yeah, this is the peak human condition. This is how we should be.
I definitely have people that I look up to in regards of how a human being should be. And did you say Day?
Yeah.
No. I don't look up to Day. No, I'm just kidding. No, Day is a wonderful human being who I admire and
we tag her all the time, so she probably does listen at some point.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that she listens to my super sweet answer, which is that she's an amazing human being, and I admire her for what she does, and I love her, and she's great. Make sure she hears that. Anyways, moving on. I have people that I look up to, as a role model, especially for as an actor too, for careers that I would love to emulate and have for myself. The aforementioned Ryan Reynolds being one before. I think he's kind of carved out a really interesting niche in his own career. Robert Downey Jr., Robert De Niro. I have to give Matthew
all superhero people.
Yeah,
right?
So I'm gonna venture away from that and say Matthew McConaughey has done something interesting, and I'm a Texas boy myself, so I can't deny that. And I think that now I can't say him because he just had his super villain movie come out. Tom Hardy, I think, does some really cool stuff. I think he's got a really great career.
So I have
go ahead.
I'm just realizing what time it is, and I want to get all these in before we have to head out here.
Totally understand.
So I'm gonna ask a couple of questions. First, this could pretty much just be a yes or no answer. You told us you're going to stream Life is Strange. You do not need to have streamed Life is Strange to be asked this question, because apparently everyone in the Life is Strange community is obsessed. But do you like pineapple pizza? Have you heard about this?
Pizza. I don't understand what the connection to Life is Strange is, but I've always been a big proponent of pineapple pizza. And if you disagree with me, I'll fight you.
Yes, Hawaiian.
Yep. Indeed.
Okay. So on that note, who is your favorite supervillain?
Oh, why do we have to divide the world into heroes and villains? Don't we have a little bit of both in all of us? That's
Mr. Jefferson.
The human condition. Now, listen, Mr. Jefferson is a complicated individual. Would you call him a villain? I don't know. strong words. I think Mr. Jefferson had a troubled childhood, and he internalized that trauma in specific ways. And as an adult, he would take it out on other victims, his sadness and his anger in very sad, traumatic ways. Do I blame him? Yes, I think he should be held accountable for his actions. But do I call him a supervillain? I don't know.
Okay.
You know, the human condition is a complicated thing, guys, which is why Game of Thrones is one of my favorite TV shows, because they paint in those gray areas, and one season you love someone and the next season you hate them. And I think that that is the truest to human nature than anything else.
Well, thank you, because you just took away one of our questions, because one of our next questions was favorite TV show of all time and recent. So recent, you said Game of Thrones. All time?
Right. So that's because I'm also a mind reader and I can see the future, and I knew what was coming. So I just wanted to kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, all-time favorite TV show, Game of Thrones, followed up with a close Sopranos. The Sopranos was like super pivotal in my own kind of like formative film school student years. And then my current, I guess Game of Thrones is current, but
current within the last 3 years.
Yes. I think Westworld is doing some cool stuff. Yep. I missed out on the Office train, which I'm now on, and I'm watching that for my company.
I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm loving the Office.
Steven has a question.
Yeah.
Now, out of all your video games and your streaming and your television, who is your favorite fictional character?
Tyrion Lannister from Game of Thrones, and Tony Soprano from The Sopranos. I'm just gonna start naming people that come to mind. I'm trying to think of a video game one that I can give you.
Link.
Link, yes, because you are Link. So and I love myself, so I love Link.
There's the selfless plug. I was waiting to see how long it would take.
Oh yeah, you stick around me long enough, and you'll see that I don't need any help in the self-love department.
No, neither do we.
I'm thinking back on some of these questions, and I want to give one more shout out to a game called Age of Mythology. That one really got me into real-time strategy games on my computer, and I'm looking at I have the old CD-ROM from 15 years ago. Age of Mythology. If you guys never played it, fantastic game.
So our next question is kind of random, but Coffee wanted to know this, and we were debating putting it in, but it looks like we'll have no answer.
It was a sarcastic question that I meant.
Well, you want to ask it? Ask it.
I pitched it as a joke, but it's: do you like Captain Underpants?
You cut out there. Captain who?
Captain Underpants.
I don't know anything about Captain Underpants. That's a
cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, since apparently for me it was Ninja Turtles growing up, but Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles.
I'm friends. I have some friends who are Power Rangers, so they're gonna get upset when I say this, but Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay. Well, then on that note, really quick, who is your favorite? Well, okay, explain why Ninja Turtles first.
They are cooler.
That's a legitimate answer.
Yeah. That one's. You know what though? I have to say, as a kid for Halloween, I dressed up as Power Rangers and not the Ninja Turtles.
So did I.
So it's right now, as an adult man answering that question, I'm going to say Ninja Turtles. But as a kid, I think I would have said Power Rangers.
Yup.
I don't know why, but that's how I feel.
Okay, so on that, really quick, I guess yeah, we'll have because this is the last. We have one more thing after this. So, favorite. I guess I'm gonna say favorite Ninja Turtle and favorite. I don't know if you know any of the actors, so I'm just gonna go favorite Ninja Turtle.
Michelangelo,
Fa-
followed up by Leonardo, probably. No, followed
okay,
up by Raphael.
okay. Just for the hell of it, favorite Power Ranger.
Tommy, the Green Ranger from the original season, who turned into
Called
the
it.
White Ranger. He is
Steven said this about an hour ago when we were coming up
Yes.
with these questions.
he is amazing. I wanted to be him. He now lives in Texas, in Houston, Texas, and runs his own karate studio while he goes on conventions. And I'm also going to give a shout out to my actual friend, my friends who are Power Rangers from a couple seasons ago. Alex Hartman, who is the Red Ranger on Super Samurai.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. And then Azim Rizik, who is my now to be ex roommate, is the green. It was the Black Ranger who turned into the Green Ranger for Super Mega Force. Those guys are awesome.
All right, so we're running out of time here, so we got a couple more things to say. Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah. How did you guys originally? Because I'm assuming you guys played Life is Strange, or you guys Twitch channel. Because I'm assuming that's how you found me.
I think I can answer for all three of us. We found you through Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the first part of that question?
Did you guys? How did you get involved with her community? How did you find out about her Twitch channel? I suppose.
Her Twitch channel?
Yeah.
I think this is the same. We all realized for us, and I know that Steven's talked about it too. We just started like looking up Life is Strange, and one day, for me, I would look up Life is Strange characters, and I saw a list of voice actors, and I was like, "Oh shit, one of them's on Twitch," and that was that.
That's pretty
Steven?
much the same for me. But I first noticed Day when she was making her chair stream, and I'm like, Dayan, that sounds familiar. Why does that sound familiar? So I had to re-look up the cast, and I'm like, oh, that's her. Follow.
Nice.
Coffee?
I believe she was my first follower.
Nice.
For me, I kind of wanted. It was a year after, like a few months after I played the game, and I'm like, you know what? I want to kind of search up the voice actors. I want to see what they're up to. Maybe I can find some cool games, and then I found them, and I found their Twitters, and that's how I found all their Twitch.
We do stalk people on Twitter and say, "Yo, you want to come in?" No, we don't do this at all.
So let me. I have another question. What is it about Life is Strange that you think that you loved so much about? Like, what was it about that game that stuck with you? And
I'll
that's a
let them
question
go
for all
first.
three of you. Yeah.
I'll let them go first.
For me, I got started with Until Dawn when I got my first PS4 back in February.
That's why you want me to play that game. I see now.
And I got so in love with the choice-based that I actually looked up choice-based games, and Life is Strange popped up. And at the same time, before the Storm had come out, and the lady at the counter was telling me about the storyline. So I actually played mine in order: Before the Storm's Farewell, and then Before the Storm and the original.
That's why if you look at if you look at our podcast, we actually go in chronological order. So we're going Before the Storm, then Life is Strange.
That was my idea.
Okay.
But I as I played, I actually fell more in love with the story.
Very cool.
Coffee?
I kind of found it in like Walmart, and I don't know. I eventually bought it, and I don't know. Just, what I loved so much about it was like I really liked the time traveling, so you could change your things, your choices. But I really liked that.
Mm-hmm.
interacting with everyone. You get to meet a bunch of characters and stuff.
So for me, and I talk about this a lot in here, and I know we're past the limit, so we're gonna wrap
That's
this up.
okay. That's
Sorry.
okay. That's okay. I have a couple minutes here. It's all right.
Okay. So for me, I am a huge Jacksepticeye fan. Okay.
Okay.
And when I first was, I had always wanted to do. I'll transition how Life is Strange got me into this podcast and stuff like that too. So when I was growing up, I always wanted to do like podcasts and stuff, and I was a big Jacksepticeye fan, and I saw him play it, and I think first of all, I don't think everything he plays is amazing, but I think the way he presents himself is amazing. But that's another topic. So I saw him play it, and I got it right away. I went. I think this was like 5 years ago. I was like 14. I went. I said, "Mom, I need your credit card," and she didn't even question it. And I was like, "I bought this game," and I had the game, and I played the game. I probably played it about 10 times by now. And then I played Before the Storm. I played Captain Spirit, and I have played the first episode of Life is Strange too. And how that relates to the podcast, when I came up with the idea for the podcast, because a lot of people ask us this, and I know you probably want to know too. The way we came up with I came up with the podcast was the name my friend made. My friend made the logo on Twitter. His name's at Parker Barks, and I came up with the name and thought Life is Feels. And we actually recently had an announcement because we have decided we're going to go into more games and like movies and TV shows besides Life is Strange. People told us to keep the name as Life is Feels. We thought was really cool.
AJ man.
That is really cool. I agree with the keeping of the podcast name.
Okay, so anything else?
Did you guys kill Kate Marsh?
No.
I did not. On either playthrough.
Okay. You're good people then.
Coffee? I think Coffee did actually.
What? No, of course I would never. I would never kill our
Coffee, you sound guilty as hell right now.
I would never kill our Kate Marsh.
Intentionally.
Ready for the mosh pit, Shaka Bra.
The mosh pit, Shaka Bra.
AJ
so
man.
Yeah.
Tell Tony the next game we're reviewing.
It's actually Until Dawn.
Is it? Oh my god! All right, I'll play the game. I'll play it. Oh my god! I'll get around to it, but you know what? I'll listen to y'all's review of it.
Okay. Yeah, we have to. We did the prologue review, and like we said, we're gonna go through games and some different transitions. I think me and Steven are eventually gonna do a thing about the Fosters, and when we do the Fosters, that'll be pretty fun. So is that all you have for us?
Yeah, the only other thing I'd like to I just want to plug myself. If you guys
yeah, I was just gonna say, where can people reach out to you?
So come to my Twitch channel. Tony Bandana is the Twitch channel name and the character that I sort of stream as. And if you're interested in my acting stuff, you can Google Tony Noto, and I'm the Tony Noto on Twitter and Instagram, and Tony Noto on IMDb. You can check all that stuff out. And I appreciate you guys having me, and I had a blast.
We hope you don't leave until we do the final outro, so we can thank you properly. So give us.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So you can follow me on Twitter at JManPowerhouser, or you can just Google search the word Life is Feels on Twitter, and you will find us. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, Life is Feels Podcast. You can follow us on Twitch as we somehow try and get the Twitch affiliate, even though I haven't streamed yet, just so we can rerun podcast. You can, by the way, that's twitch.tv/Life is Feels Podcast. You can email us at lifeisfeelspodcast@gmail.com. You can follow Steven on Twitter at
STEVENULCH13.
You can follow Coffee on Twitter at
CoffeeMug888.
And remember, folks, until next time, life is